Good morning, students. In this class, so you are going to learn about group discussion. And before going into that topic, so let me ask you a question. What is a group discussion? And so why group discussions are required? Can anybody answer this? Okay. So generally, a group discussion is a methodology used by an organization to gauge whether the candidate has certain personality traits and or skills that it desires in its members. So in multinational companies, so when they want to recruit persons, so they require certain essential qualities like leadership skills, communication skills, management skills, and then flexibility, communication, etc., etc. So they want to test the caliber of the candidate in all these skills. And so in order to know that, so they need to conduct certain group discussions or debates like that, so that so these group discussions or debates can help the candidate to elevate the personality traits and which are essential for certain jobs, especially if you want to work in multinational companies. Okay. So a group discussion is nothing but a kind of methodology used by any organization to look into the candidate's caliber in many fields, especially the personality traits. And these personality traits may include leadership skills, communication skills, soft skills, managerial skills, time management, stress management, flexibility, adaptability, decision making skills, and also problem solving skills. Right? So now let us look at the traits for a group discussion. So here some important elements already we have discussed now, but so some more are added. So look at these traits. One is ability to work in a team, that is teamwork skills. And second one, communication skills, already we have discussed. And the third one, reasoning ability. And the fourth one, leadership skills. And the fifth one, initiative. And the sixth one, assertiveness. And the seventh one, flexibility. Next, creativity, the ability to think on one's feet. So these are certain triads, and apart from this, we have discussed some other triads like managerial skill, leadership skills, etc., etc. So these skills are very important for any person. So because the organization which conducts group discussion in order to elevate the personality traits of your person, so actually wants to have these qualities. So these qualities are desirable for them apart from their technical skills and also their primary qualification like BTech or MTech or MCA or MBA, etc. So apart from having that subject knowledge, so they want to look for these personality traits. So now look at so the types of group discussions conducted by various organizations. So these group discussions sometimes can be based on topics, and so these are classified into three categories. So one is the factual topics. So for example, the education policy of India, etc. Because here we need to talk about the facts. So educational policy, take for example, NEP 2020, National Education Policy. So here we need to talk about the factual information because so that was the latest development in education, and so that is why. So we cannot add cock and bull stories so in such topics. So it is completely based on the facts and proof. And the second important category of group discussion is called controversial. So controversial topics will be given sometimes, and in order to elevate so the negotiation skills and assertiveness, and so even problem solving skills, etc. So for example, a reservation should be removed. So topics like this so require so a lot of knowledge from various students, and because the students will be of various backgrounds also. Okay. And so that is why, so when one person argues against this topic and some others will be in favor of that topic. And so this is a controversial. Anytime if you want to discuss on this kind of topic, it will become controversial. So that is why sometimes group discussions will be conducted on such controversial topics also. And thirdly, some abstract topics will be given. And for example, A is an alphabet, or a twinkle, twinkle, little star, or the number 10, etc., etc. And here, so you need to add some information on such topics. So likewise, so these three types of group discussions may be conducted based on the variety of topics they select. And they want to test the inner knowledge of each and every student, all their personality traits, etc. And so in order to do so, so the candidates must possess certain requirements. Firstly, they need to have clarity of thought. And second important requirement is so group working skills. So especially during a group task of case study discussion. So because here it depends on their teammates. So how they are contributing and what they are contributing, etc. So that is why these group working skills are also very important. And so how you are going to handle the conflicts. So the considered conflict handling skills. So this is also very essential requirement uh, generally sought by the organizations. So next one, listening and problem probing skills. So people will test whether you are going to listen to others or not, whether you have the kind of patience or not. So whether you can probe into any problem or whether you can solve that problem, etc. So that is why these are some desirable parameters. So they look for in a candidate. And apart from this, we have generally a candidate must have knowledge about the subject and the individual point of view should be expressed. So in a group discussion. And the candidate must have ability to create a consensus. So at the end of group discussion, they must come to a consensus. And so even some group members may not agree with the points raised by some others, but even then, at the end of the group discussion, they must arrive at a consensus. So such ability should be there in a candidate. So next, so a candidate must have openness and flexibility towards new ideas. So when a new concept is introduced by any member, the other should be in a position to accept it. So such flexibility and adaptability should be there, and they should be open in accepting such things. So otherwise, so if a person is not accepting to anyone, if he behaves like a person, a dogmatic person, so he will not have good friends and he will not be fit in a teamwork. Okay, so that is why always have openness, open-mindedness, and also be flexible towards new ideas. And so some candidates should have data-based approach to decision making. So if you want to take right decisions, so definitely the candidates must have that skill. And so you need to remember certain points whenever you are going for any group discussion tasks. So here you need to have your file containing a pen and a paper with you, and always try to initialize the discussion or initiate the discussion, and be as natural as possible. And don't try and be someone you are not. So there is no scope for acting like some other persons. So that's why. So be polite and so be sure and be true to yourself. And so be a professional and behave like a professional. And maintain proper body language and eye contact. So these are some of the desirable characters to be observed in a person who is going to discuss in a group. And try to maintain eye contact with all the members of your group. And so be energetic and cheerful always. So in a group discussion. So these qualities are required for any person. And don't start speaking until you have clearly understood and analyzed the subject. So if you don't have the subject knowledge, so don't make some controversial statements. So you need to be very simple. And so be sure if you know the point correctly, and if you have some factual evidences with you, so then only, so you need to speak something on that particular subject. And be assertive, but don't try to dominate, and try to maintain a balanced tone in your discussion and analysis. So this is another important requirement for any candidate who is going to discuss in a group discussion. And then, so be patient. So don't lose your coolness if anyone says anything, or so if you are objecting to anyone, so don't be very serious, and so don't show that kind of arrogance towards others. And so don't take the discussion personally. So these are some of the do's and don'ts in a group discussion. And so always be polite. So to add to those points, again, we have some other points like, so be polite and try to avoid using extreme phrases. And so like I strongly object or I disagree, etc. Whenever you want to disagree, you just politely say that I'm very sorry, I don't want to agree with so and so. So instead of saying I disagree, I don't want something like this. Okay. So it clearly defines a person's character. If you are using polite sentences, polite words means, so definitely that adds to your credits. And try to participate 3 to 4 times in the whole discussion. So don't think that if you once so convey your message, so in the form of contributing to that particular topic, and if you keep quiet so for the rest of the time, so definitely you will not be considered so in the selection list. So that is at least 3 to 4 times you need to talk in that group discussion, contribute your own points. So in that discussion, and then so try to give a chance to others who have not participated yet in the discussion. And so here you cannot clearly point out a person by name or showing your finger, etc. Don't do like that. So cleverly and gently, you can invite that person into the conversation by saying that, so in my opinion, for example, in my opinion, this women empowerment so should be there in all the organization. So what do you think, Mr. Farooq? So in such a way, gently you can invite that person into the discussion. And so maintain good voice that is audible to the other participants as well as the observer. So because if you lower your voice means others cannot hear you. So because in a group discussion, each and everyone has to listen to your words. So that is why your voice should be audible, and also it should be clearly stated. Whatever points you want to say, that should be clearly stated. And so please note the points while others are talking. And this proves that you have good listening skills and writing skills. So if you write like that, so definitely you can avoid the repetition of the points. So if you're not listening to them means, so definitely you will be again restating the same point given by some other candidate. So that is in order to avoid that. So you need to write down the important points. So spoken by others also. In that way, you can show enthusiasm. So in listening skills as well as in noting down those important points. So next, you try to grab the chance to conclude the discussion. So the conclusion should be such that it should be the group conclusion. So here you should not give the individual opinion. So you need to take into consideration the whole group's points, and also even if they have talked about some negative points, so you can cover 1 or 2 negative points if you feel that they are important. So whatever you have discussed, so from those points you need to conclude. So these are some of the essential things related to group discussion. So to conclude, So group discussions can be conducted on three important topics. So one is factual, the second one is controversial, and third one abstract topics. And so there are some requirements, especially the personality traits. And already we have discussed in the previous class about the 7 C's of communication. So you need to concentrate on that whenever you are talking, even in the group discussion. So not to get clear expressions. So be concise and simple, etc. So you follow these things. So with this, I'm concluding this class. And in the next lecture, you are going to learn about the other aspects of group discussion. Thank you very much. And so in the next class, please come prepared. So especially on group discussion topics, so that you will have a chance to discuss in your group. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.